to record. Okay, I go ahead and call the meeting to order. The time is 2:30 and today's date is Tuesday, February 21st. If I could please have Zulika, can you lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody said something. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Zulika. So
Welcome.
we'll go ahead and go to number 2, roll call.
Okay. Commissioner Kathleen Bellastars,
Present.
Commissioner Francine Goodwin. Oh, you still muted, Francine.
I know, present. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
Oh, no problem. Okay.
Okay, so now we'll go to number 3. Is there anybody in trying to check in for comments from the public, Gabriela?
No public comments.
Okay, just in case if somebody comes in, just go ahead and speak up, and then we'll be ready to receive their public comments. So we'll go to number 4, the minutes, approval of the minutes of the personnel meeting held on December 12th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve them.
And I second the motion to approve the minutes of the personnel meeting held on December 12th, 2022. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Kathleen Bellastars,
Yes.
Commissioner Francine Goodwin.
Yes,
Okay, thank you. So now we'll go to discussion. Go ahead, Zulika.
Okay, the in-person meetings, unfortunately, we will in March have to change the way that we're having our meetings because the governor is ending the state of emergency on February 28th. And they made some changes to AB 361 and AB 2449 that affect the Browns Act. We're gonna have to start meeting in person. But we can have a hybrid meeting as long as we have a quorum at the location that we are actually hosting the meeting from. But it's just certain conditioners that the commissioners will have to meet to be able to be teleconferencing in. And then they will have to post it up wherever they're going to be coming in from. So you can have family and childcare issues. It can be a physical, medical issue that makes you have to, zoom into the meetings, or you can also be doing work for a public, for the housing authority and have to do a Zoom in. But the hybrid meetings, the main thing is that you'll have to list the address where you're going to attend the meeting from, and then you'll have to have that address open to the public. But I do think that if you have a medical reason why you can't be at the meeting, then you can just state that. I think I read you can do like a 20-page paragraph, 20-word paragraph saying why you have to attend the meeting in that manner. And then you won't have to have that place open to the public, but you'll still be able to attend the meeting. So we can still have our meeting this month virtual, but next month is when it'll take effect for us because we still under AB 361, which is the state of emergency, but that ends at the end of this month.
Okay. So Zulika, me personally, I'm okay to meet in person. So if we're able to, we could come in. I know that each commissioner was given a photo badge and I still have mine.
Okay.
I still have mine. Commissioner Goodwin, do you want to comment or say anything?
well, I've gotten COVID twice now. And I honestly don't, to travel, I'm in Monterey. So for me to travel over there is a physically and health-wise a hardship for me.
Well, Francine,
Given,
we can write it up so that you don't have to be in person.
okay, because I'm in a wheelchair. In fact, I just got my wheelchair. It was in the shop overnight, and I just got it back a few minutes ago. But anyway, but it takes me hours when I have to travel to Salinas because I don't drive, and so I have to use a medical transportation like rides or whatever rides usually. And anyway, I have to depend on their schedule. So anyway, having said that, if there's a way I can be excused from having to be on site, that would be awesome.
Yes, ma'am. Myself and Gabby were already looking into it for you. And we found the conditions that are needed, and we'll just prepare the statement and have you sign it. And then you'll be able to attend on Zoom.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, and thank Gabby because she really dug for it and helped bring it to my attention because we wanted to make sure it didn't cause you a hardship.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So Zalika, what we can do is have the same discussion on the board agenda meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
And that way we can let all the other, the other commissioners can be informed. And then we'll see how all of them respond, see which ones will be able to attend in person and which ones have a concern or I don't know, maybe just something that we may not be aware of, whether it be physical or I don't know. So we could bring it up and then you'll give us all that information again on the meeting.
Yes, ma'am, with the information that we got offline, so you can see the conditions. So that way anybody who can attend, they can, see what we have to do to get that to be allowable.
Okay,
Thank you.
sounds good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that information. I know it's very vital. And I believe that every person will have their own response depending on how they feel, how they stand. And I'm still, if needed, if I need to wear a mask during the meeting, I'm okay with that too.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So now we'll go to number 6, information, starting with the letter A, schedule for PHA annual plan, FYB July 2023, informational only. Go ahead, Zalika.
Yes, ma'am. Lucila has been working very hard on this, and we wanted to share the agenda with the board so that you can see that we have all the time frames in place to meet all the rules and regulations from HUD and get a public time to come in and participate in the process. The expected date to finish is, go down just a little, Gabby. There you go, April the 14th. We hope to have everything finished by then and be able to give it to the board for approval and then submission to HUD. The public hearings are going to be at the main office, and Lucila is going to do those. And I think she may have a Zoom link. I'm not sure, but I know they're going to be some in-person meetings at the office.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. And then when you present to the board the PHA annual plan, so will it be a draft at that time or will it be the actual submission?
No, that'll be the submission. We'll already be in talk to the county representatives. They have to look at it to get all the bugs out. So it'll be the final draft.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. So now we'll go to letter B, which is HR report.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lots of things happening within HR, some exciting stuff. Our main focus and focal point is the recruitment for the director of finance. We're kind of having a challenging time to kind of securing a candidate. People are not applying through FADA and for NARO, but we're looking at different alternative ways to kind of be more creative as far as our approach goes with that. We did open up a little bit more positions within HACM. We have the HPS, which is the Housing Program Specialist position that we just recently opened up, the FSS, which is the Family Self-Sufficiency Coordinator, Maintenance Worker 2, and the Asset Manager positions are also opened up. They're not listed on the report. I'll update that for the board meeting, but those are just openings that we just opened up recently. We did fill the Director of Housing Management. Jose Acosta is now the Director of Housing Management. So congratulations to him. That announcement will be made at the board meeting as well. In regards to staff development, we're launching a company newsletter to showcase any upcoming changes and events that are taking place within HACM. We did have a successful board meeting with the union to discuss kind of any topics or any changes that are coming up. And one of them that we're mentioning, or majority of them that we're mentioning, was communication was kind of more of a opportunity within HACM. So we're trying to go ahead and kind of spearhead that and get the company newsletter going, so that way communication is kind of all over HACM. As far as training goes, HR team, which is kind of, we hired an either HR temp to kind of play that role. They're going to kind of conduct trainings throughout the month and throughout the year of topics within Paylocity, which is our human resource information system, to get the team, the employees more engaged with the platform that we have, that we pay for every year. But more or less to streamline the processes that are on there. There's also training on there. There's things that they can update their own information, like tax forms and all that good stuff that comes in with it, that they're able to do by themselves. As far as policies, I am working on the handbook, because as of you know, right now we currently just have a plethora of policies. So we're trying to right now solidify that and make it one handbook. So whoever does come on board will get just one specific handbook versus a lot of PDF files that are kind of spread out. And that is pretty much, last thing is we are doing a HR audit. So I'm going section by section within HR to make sure that we're staying compliant overall. So whether it's from hiring to retention to training and development, we're just trying to make sure that everything is kind of dialed in for this coming year as well. That's all I have. Sorry, that was kind of a mouthful.
Commissioner Goodwin, do you have any questions or concerns for James?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. James, I just had a question. I know you mentioned about the finance director.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said that, I guess for how they're able to apply, you haven't had a response, or?
So we have had some candidates apply. I think right now, currently, from looking at it, we have over about 25 people that applied through Paylocity. With that, we're kind of filtering as far as the criteria, right? So looking from the experience background, are they able to, or do they have any experience with property management or, government funding, things like that? Because we know that director of finance is very complex and there's a lot of intricacies with it. We want to make sure we finalize the right candidate for this position. So that's why we're very, very particular as far as who we're going to interview. But we're doing different creative ways, whether it's reaching out to maybe a partner that Salika had in mind, to kind of maybe, lead us in the right direction and maybe kind of step in temporarily a little bit more. So we're able to kind of finalize a candidate altogether.
Okay. And I did notice about the employee handbook and
Mhm.
also the training. So thank you for giving us more information on that, because I think the handbook it's an excellent way, especially when you have a new employee and they could kind of get I guess kind of give them more information about about housing authority, and more or less what they're gonna be what kind of environment. And I think a handbook is really, really helpful. And as a commissioner and working in public agency, I really feel that additional training for any employee is really good, and especially communication. That always seems to be one, because one person could be communicating correctly, but the other person that's the receiver might have a whole total mindset and they misinterpret what was communicated. So I think that's very excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Zalika, has a good kind of headstrong head on where she sees HACM and the goals that she's aligning with me. I think we're good, heading in the right direction. So all good things all the way around.
Okay, if you could make sure that you bring out what you brought out today, if you can make sure to bring those out as strong points in your presentation for the board meeting, because I think those are very excellent. And also regarding the finance director position, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple of commissioners inquiring about that position.
Absolutely.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Okay, and then the last one under number 6 is C, housing programs. And I believe that's Maria Zelica.
It is. I thought she was going to be on the call. I know she had something to do earlier, but I can kind of run through her report.
Okay,
Can
go.
you pull it down a
Yes.
little bit?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, that's good right there. So the project-based vouchers, she lists the total number on the waiting list, which I think we need to cut that down because that's very excessive considering we only have 625 PBV vouchers. Let's see, she said they're still working with the 4 and 5 bedrooms in South County, and then they're working on one Parkside. They really heavily focusing on one Parkside because it's a new development. And they got a lot of people on the waiting list. So they're trying to figure out what is the bottleneck and what is causing the problem, creating a delay in the people actually getting housed.
Right.
Then let's see, the vacancies, pending applicants for waiting list. Really, to be honest with you, we're just looking at the whole HCV program. Internally to see what changes we need to make so that the vouchers get out quicker. Because for example, the EHE vouchers, from the time they get the referral to actually issuing a voucher, it's taking too long. You're supposed to do it in at least 120 days. But for some reason, they were actually doubling that amount of time. Go down some, Gabby. That's why if you see on their utilization chart, go down to where the EHV is. There you go. You'll see the number really haven't changed since last year because it's a big hiccup in the referral process. We having the monthly meetings with HUD to look at what we need to do to improve utilization. And I did just get them approved for the waivers for the 120% because that ended in December. And I also got them approved to do it as an interim. So that way, if it's a tenant that's rent burden, you don't have to wait for them to come in to be able to increase their voucher. So we can just do it by running a report. And that way it'll help them to not have to pay so much rent. So HUD approved both of those, which I was glad to see. And so that'll be over with at the end of this year. And hopefully they'll have another waiver and we can apply for it again. The program is really, it's not in good shape. We had $9 million that could have been recaptured by HUD that was underutilized. However, once we called up the HCV tool and talked with them and looked at the requirements, they did not recapture any of the money. So that's fantastic for the housing authority because there's more money that we can put out to help people. But the main thing with the HCV program is, as you can see, their numbers are just very low.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why you heard James say we hiring a new specialist. The specialists we have, they have too many cases. Each one of them have 400 to 500 cases that they're doing.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just too many for one person. So we're going to be making some changes in the HCV department. And I'm going to talk a little more about it when we have the board meeting, but just so you and Francine to know.
Yes.
We have, I think, 4 eligibility people right now. And really, we could just have 2. One for PBVs and then one for the main waiting list. And those other 2 eligibility specialists could actually turn into HPS workers, which will let us decrease the workload for everybody else. Because if we change their titles and take those 2 and make them into HPS, then somebody who had 500 cases now, maybe they can be reduced to 400 a piece or something like that. And then try to get the specialty programs with 1 or 2 people instead of being spread out. Because right now, if I was a HPS, I might have to do VASH, EHV, and mainstream at the same time. And so that's one reason why I think we having so many audit findings in this department too. Because if
Yeah.
I have 400 or 500 cases and I'm consistently changing from what program that I'm working on, I'm
Mhm.
gonna make mistakes because they all have different requirements. So
Right.
we're just really gonna restructure that whole department. Me and Maria are working on it. We've been talking about it, and I've been
Mhm.
talking with James about it. And so you'll start seeing those changes take place. And then with that and us working with the partners that we have that's doing the referring, these numbers are gonna start going up.
And you know, if you were to do that, you would just have to reach out with the union, right? Is that what you
Mhm.
mean by partners? And then also, in case will they need additional training, or they're already familiar with the structure?
No, they still need some training, and
Okay.
we getting that too. HUD is giving us some technical assistance. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to get them to let the technical assistants do a lot of the training. That way it won't be a cost on the agency.
Great. I think that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If we could have that mentioned also in the board meeting, what you mentioned, Zulika, whether it be Maria or yourself,
Okay.
if you can make a note of that, so that way the other commissioners can receive the same information. Well, it looks now that we're down to commissioner comments. And so I'll turn it over to Commissioner Goodwin.
I just want to thank everybody for all the valuable information that was provided. Everybody seems to be working really hard at Housing Authority, and I look forward to learning more at our board meeting. And hope everybody has a great and safe weekend.
Thank you. Zulika?
Well, I just like to thank the staff. They're really embracing these changes, and they are working diligently to try to make their programs run, especially the finance committee. I can't commend them enough with the finance department because they actually finished the 2020 audit, and you'll find out a lot more about that at the board meeting, but they're working really hard to get us caught up.
Great. I just want to thank you, Zulika, for, bringing in your expertise, trying to bring this ship, and drive us in the right path in this large ocean of Monterey County. And also to your staff, appreciate James, Maria, Gabriela, and yourself for this the agenda for today's meeting. And we look forward to meeting with you all again on Monday. And I look forward to having our in-person meetings in March.
Yeah, in-person meetings can be fun.
Yes, yes. So again, thank you to all. I may not see all your staff, but please let them know that myself and Commissioner Goodwin appreciate all the hard work that they're doing. We may not know every detail, but we just want to say thank you.
And thank you so much.
You're welcome. And with that, I'll adjourn the meeting. The time is 2:53 p.m.
Okay, see you all Monday.
All right, thank you.